Alright, what's up YouTube world? I get a lot of questions about how to hook the 3500s up to the RMX controller. Alright, it's really not that hard. When you get your controller, as you know, this is the controller. One of the things that a lot of people make the mistake of is that they don't change the switches. If you notice right here for channel 1 and channel 2, there is a switch for phono and line. You make sure that those are set to line. That's the first problem. Next thing, make sure that you get you a set of good RCAs. The reason is because you can get radiated noise through the RCAs, which messes with the time code, which makes it where it's not 100%, which makes it where it doesn't work very well. Alright, let's go through the thing of hooking them up. On the back of the controller, you've got channel 1, channel 2, you've got out channel 1 and 2, and you got out channel 3 and 4. Make sure you got your good pair. 1, 2. Again, make sure that that is in the line out if you're using CD players, and that goes for any CD players. The second one. Naturally, you know there's no ground because you're using CD players. Now, this is the trick. A lot of people get confused on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 are only used if you're going to use this as a controller. If you're going to use a live mixer, say for instance you're using something like this, or you're using the Pioneer at the club, or whatever it is you're using outside of this, you use this then as a sound card, which allows you to use all the features of a regular mixer. Real simple. 1 and 2, which is the first line out, the first channel, goes to channel 1 on the mixer. Same thing with 3 and 4. 3 and 4 go to line 2. 1 and 2 go to line 1. 3 and 4 go to line 2. This is only used if you're using the mixer as your main and using this as your sound card. Otherwise, you would just use 1 and 2 out. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 1 and 2 out. Where did those plugs go? Real simple. Now, this allows me to use the mixer as a sound card and a mixer. So that's how I got it hooked up. Just back in the hole here. Alright. Make sure we on. Let me let you know about these CDs. When you download these CDs from Virtual's website, it tells you on the CD that when you burn it, to make sure that whatever program you're using doesn't have normalize on. If you've got normalize on, you're going to screw up your CDs. What's going to happen is the CDs won't sync, or you won't get 100%, which means that when you go to do stuff, they're going to either lag, they're not going to perform well, they're going to be slow. So when you burn these, you make sure whatever burning program you use doesn't normalize automatically. If it does, you want to uncheck it. I know a lot of people use Nero. I know that Nero at one time had a check mark that normalized automatically, and you can take that away. So just be aware of that. If it doesn't seem to work quite right, you may have a problem with this. Also, some people have a tendency to want to raise the volume or something, or want to do some weird things in their editing program. Don't do anything to it. Just play it. Now, on the actual CD itself, I actually have two. I've got 2 tracks. I've got 1 track with the Pro and 1 track with the Standard. This way I can take these CDs and play them any place. I can play them in a regular pair of players, which is a rack mount set of players, or I can play them in some professional ones, and I know that I got a time code that will work with either one of them. So that's why I do it like that. So I've got actually both of them on one CD on both of them. Let me plug up the USB. You notice when the USB is plugged up, everything lights up, it starts flashing and does all this little Christmas stuff. It lets you know that it's talking to the laptop. When it gets through talking to the laptop, you'll notice that a little icon will pop up down here that says DJ. If there's no X in it and it looks like that, that means you're good to go. Let's open up the program. I see there's a new update. I'll do the update after we get through. Right now I'm running version 601, so there's a new update for it. So I'll update it later. So we just click no for now. We're going to go into config mode. Now, with your CD players hooked up, your CDs in your players, everything is looking great, you go into config mode. This is what your config mode should look like. Input should be time coded, whether it's 1 time code or 2, depending on how many CD players you got. It should be headphones for the second one. A lot of people have a tendency to want to set this for external mixer, or they may have it still stuck in single output, or however they've got it. That's wrong. It's never going to work that way. So you want to make sure that it's in headphones. Also, the last thing is DJ control mixer. You can't use ISO driver with this. You don't want to use ISO driver because you lose features that way. So you want to always use this. Now, we want to configure it to make sure that the time code here is syncing up here. The best way to do it is click time code config, press start on the controller, and look at the page. If you've got 100%, which as you see I got, you're right in the money. Any place close to 100% is where you want to be. 100% naturally is 100%. That goes for the second one too over here. So we want to get 100%, which is what we got. One of the cool features about Virtual now is that Virtual allows you to use other people's stuff. You can use Serato Vita, you can use the Serato DJ CDs, you can use the PC DJ CDs, you can use Miss Pinky, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th. You can use Torque stuff as well. As long as a couple other things that run, as long as they run within the 1000 to the 2000 megahertz frequency. I wouldn't advise you to bother any of these things unless you're having some issues. I wouldn't advise you to bother anything, and this should be Smart Relative. I like Smart Relative because that gives me the flexibility that I need right here. So leave all that stuff default. Click here, you click apply, you click OK. As you see, they're turning. If you look under the bottom here, you'll see that the TCs are all the way up, which means that you've got 100%. If you stop this, the TC goes away. If you do something, the TC goes away. That's the purpose of that. Alright, we at Digital Mix DJ do play a lot of hip hop and this and that and the other, but our origins is house music. So what I do is I just play this house music cut just to finish doing a demonstration. Alright. Now, when you got everything like you want it to be, now you notice you can use the features, like your max speed. All those features that you were looking for, and that makes it stay on track like it's supposed to. Alright, it gives you an idea how to set it up. It gives you an idea of what it's supposed to look like when it's set up. And remember that this is for any CD players, so apply it to your Pioneers, apply it to your Newmarks, apply it to your whatever it is you're using. Apply it to all of those for this particular model here.